This week, House Republicans are going to bring a resolution to the floor to formalize our impeachment inquiry into Joe Biden.
So here it comes, the attempt to distract from all the legal troubles facing Donald Trump by putting Joe Biden up for potential impeachment over these particular areas that they're going to be investigating. Burisma. Yes, the curse continues. You will never in your life stop hearing about Burisma. Interference in the prosecution of Hunter Biden, who is now facing a lot of different indictments, but that's not good enough. And foreign influence peddling, which one of these days they're going to provide evidence of, but thus far they have not been able to. But that said, they are moving forward. The measure that they were announcing right there, the Republicans directs the House Oversight, Judiciary, and Ways and Means committees to, quote, continue their ongoing investigations as part of the existing House of Representatives inquiry into whether sufficient grounds exist to impeach Biden. And so bear in mind that obviously, especially with George Santos being yeeted out of Congress and Kevin McCarthy is going to be going away, there's not a lot of room for defections. But that said, they might well be able to hold on to every single Republican to push through whatever BS justification for impeachment they have. So Rayyvana, we might get it. What do you think? Are they going to impeach Joe Biden? Where do you think the strongest evidence lies?
Every single Republican except for Ken Buck, who has said that he will not vote to support this. He's been against this impeachment inquiry from the start, not because he's not a far-right Republican. He's one of the most far-right members of the Republican Party in the House. He just doesn't believe in this, amongst some other things, because of maybe personal gripes with individuals like Matt Gaetz and Marjorie Taylor Greene. Not quite sure, but I think that it's fascinating. They know that, as you pointed out, they have a razor-thin majority in the House. They're not going to the full impeachment trial. They're expanding the scope of the inquiry, is my understanding correct? And it's because they know that there are some holdouts in the party who are apprehensive about authorizing the full trial. So we're seeing, obviously they need to distract from Donald Trump's criminal charges. They also need to enact his petty revenge against Joe Biden. We know he feels personally aggrieved that he's been twice impeached. He wants Joe Biden to suffer the same fate. So we have to play the same tape about Burisma over and over and over again, because we couldn't let it die, in 2018, 2017. We got to play the hits. We're bringing it back. Maybe Benghazi's next. Maybe they'll impeach him for that. Who knows?
Watergate. Yeah, it's utter madness. Do we need to point out again what's been pointed out a million times? They say that he fired a guy who was investigating Burisma. The guy wasn't investigating Burisma. That's why they fired him. It's pointless. Why even point that out? They will never accept that because they desperately need something. Honestly, and I'm gonna keep it real. I understand that I'm, technically a Democrat or whatever, but Joe Biden has been in office for decades as senator, as vice president, as president. How are you not able to find good evidence of some sort of crime, even accidental crime over the course of decades? You haven't been able to come up with anything, but they just need it. Because Donald Trump just stumbles and bumbles willfully into a whole bunch of crimes. On a phone call, he tells Ukraine that their aid is contingent on investigating his rival during an election. He steals buckets of documents and throws them next to his toilet. Like he's so obvious in his crimes that they have to find something, and somehow they just can't do it. So as a result of the need to distract from Donald Trump's situation, we're gonna suffer through like a year-long investigation that will probably end up in him actually being impeached for nothing. Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.